You have 2 minutes, sir.
I'm back. Members of the board, Madam President, Madam Marcus at home, distinguished district leaders, and more importantly, this community. A couple things that I'd like to, first, this is a celebration, so I want to keep it that way. This board, most impressive board I've ever had the opportunity to work with in 20 years. Absolutely, unequivocally courageous, dignified, and always leaning towards heaven. In this next iteration of leadership, I am completely convinced with this board and with Dr. Cherniss, we're going to be a powerhouse, because the games, the situation as it lives, which is, I'm not going to get into tonight because this is a day of celebration, is a train to nowhere, will get rectified. And the antics of the interim superintendent will be undone and rectified, 100%. And so, 3 things I'd like the board to recognize. One, that CTE is an important factor at this school, and there should be language in the new contract, which doesn't exist, for 20 years. And that CTE should become whole, as it should have never been dismantled. And lastly, I really want to say that I'm blessed to be in this situation at this time, because there's only blue skies ahead of us. Thank you, board. Thank you, community.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Carey.
Gold, silver, and bronze at Skills USA. Thank you very much.
Next, please allow me to call up our final speaker on this topic, Beth Fisher. Ms. Fisher, please join us at the table. You have 2 minutes. Hi.
Hi, Madam President Online and trustees. My name is Beth Fisher, and while I am not a member of your community, I want to thank you for welcoming me here tonight. I am joining tonight Trustee Blades from the Placentia Yorba Linda Unified School District, where I am actually a parent. I am a former employee of PYLUSD, and I'm really proud to have served as the founding principal of the mentioned Orange County School of Computer Science. So I want to congratulate you on such a wonderful selection in Dr. Cherniss. I am a little bit of a geek when it comes to educational research. So when it comes to moving schools forward, feelings, there's no place for feelings. You have to look at research. And so when it comes to leader credibility, there are 5 dimensions. Dr. Cherniss ticks off every box. Competence, dynamism, trust, immediacy. If you don't know what that means with him, you will. I've never met a more responsive superintendent in my life, but where I think you are trying to take this district to be a beacon to our state is forward thinking. So although I've only sat in to hear a few things here, it sounds like this community is looking to come together in unity. One of the trustees did respond back to me, which I greatly appreciate. And my response back in my email when I was sharing my great experience with Dr. Cherniss is, leaders have choices, right? So unity and dignity is a choice, and I want to just say he's gonna propel you into the future. And I think if you don't get the mindset of what that means, it will go very fast. A lot of times people will say, whoa, what just happened? But if you can survive the wild ride that's incredibly thrilling on the other end, you will come out where our kids need to be, because he understands the world that is now and the world that will be, and he will take you there.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Fisher. Okay, can I get superintendent of schools?
I'd like to make that motion.
Okay,
I would like to make that motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Marcus. I acknowledge your motion. Can I get a second, please?
I will second.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart. I would like to read out something in this regard. Item 8, Item 8A on the agenda is an item to approve the employment agreement for Dr. Alex Cherniss to serve as Superintendent of Beverly Hills Unified School District. Pursuant to the Brown Act, we are required to read out the key terms of the agreement prior to taking action to approve the agreement. The key terms are as follows. The agreement shall be for a term of 3 years to begin on June 1, 2025. Please note, Education Code allows for a maximum of 4 years on a superintendent agreement. Item 2, the starting annual salary shall be $350,000. Item 3, the superintendent shall receive all fringe benefits, vacation, sick leave, and holidays offered to other senior district administrators and in accordance with applicable board policies and are substantially similar to the benefits of the prior superintendent. Item 4, the superintendent shall also receive a monthly doctoral stipend of $700 and a monthly administrative stipend of $700 and an annual doctoral stipend of $2,366. Do I have any comment from my colleagues in this regard? Mrs. Marcus?
No, it's with great pleasure that I welcome Alex back to Dr. Cherniss back, and I'm thrilled that he's going to be at the helm, and I'm looking forward to working with him. I have nothing but confidence in what he's going to do, and I'm sorry that I can't be in there in person to vote in person.
Thank you,
Thank
Mrs.
you.
Marcus. Thanks. Mr. Stewart?
I just want to thank all of the speakers who came today, especially those that drove a very long way. I don't want to get off topic, but just to Mrs. Lipschitz, who came in and just commented because she did mention my name. I just want you to wait and see, because magic is coming. And I know that you don't like how we did this, but trust me, we investigated everything thoroughly. We're incredibly confident in our choice, and I think that the speakers here today can prove that. I also want to say, again, thank you to Dr. Hasty. I think you've done an incredible job in the situation that you were just planted in. To Ms. Collins-Williams, and you, Dustin, too. I mean, we've put you guys in a very tough spot very quickly, and you rose so well, and you gave all of us the confidence to keep doing our job, because we've always had the confidence in you to do yours, and you did it so magically. And to Dr. Cherniss, I mean, you are someone who I could not be prouder to now call you a partner. We have challenges ahead, and you are the right man for the job. So I just want to thank you. I thank you for the conversations that we've had so far. I'm warning you the 5 million calls you're going to get from Judy every day. But, our job is to make the district better than when we got here, and hopefully for when we leave. And I'm very, very grateful to you, to your skill set, to the future thinking that I've already heard. And I think it's going to be magical. So thank you so much for being here. And thank you for fighting for our kids and for our people. And I'm ready to get to work with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sabag.
I'd like to thank Dr. Seaman and Dr. Hasty and Laura Collin-Williams for all your support and all your help during this time. And I want to officially welcome Dr. Alex Cherniss as the new superintendent of the Beverly Hills Unified School District. Dr. Cherniss brings with him over 24 years of educational leadership, and his resume reflects a deep commitment to academic excellence, student achievements, and strategic progress, with a proven track record of success in several top-performing districts across California. He is a leader who listens, leads with clarity, and understands the high standards our community expects and deserves. I am confident that under his leadership, we will be elevating all 4 of our schools to the heights of academic excellence, and I'm especially excited to work toward our shared vision, earning National Blue Ribbon status for each of our schools. The future is bright with Dr. Cherniss at the helm. And I'd also like to thank how he jumped for the opportunity that we did go to Horace Mann Elementary, and there were several teachers that recognize and were so gracious and so happy that he came and that he is going to be entering our community, and we're going to be working together. Thank you so much.
Dr. Stern?
One of the first things that stood out when we were crafting the criteria that was really important to us was someone who has had actual experience being a superintendent, full on. And not only have you done that, but my understanding is collectively about 12 years of that. I know that the longevity these days of superintendents, it tends to be 2 or 3 years. So you've had experiences where you've had 5 years or less, but they have been, all of them have been high-performing districts. The class and eloquence of your colleagues here definitely is a testament. I will say that your job is very hard, and I know that. As someone who works in the schools, I know just how hard it is. I also want to say that when we were doing our search, we are only as good as the information that comes to us. And I am very pleased to hear the comments that I'm hearing tonight from very educated people with some sound, concrete evidence, and that is very helpful to me. And I will say that it is unfortunate that in this era of assassination by social media, we receive a lot of things. We do. And you could almost argue that there's 2 realities or 2 universes. There's a universe that thinks something of a certain thing, and there's another universe. And it is very important as our job as stewards is our ability to discern what we think is right and go with what we feel is right. And I am confident that you will do a great job, and I appreciate your dedication. You're already off and running, I see, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Did you want to say something else?
I just wanted to thank your colleagues that came all the way from Placentia, and I recognized one of them because I came to the board meeting also because I happened to be in the area. So thank you for driving all the way down here to speak, and we really appreciate it. That's amazing.
Thanks. Thank you. I first want to thank everybody that is here tonight and everybody's that watching at home and all of those who participated in the survey that we sent out in regard to the superintendent position. You would think that as time goes on, being a board member is something that turns you a little bit numb or callous to the job. And I would say for me, it's actually been the opposite, that I am more and more in tune with what the community is wanting and hoping for. And it has been such an honor to sit up here and to represent our school district in this community. And the vision that we have, I think, is something that we've been extremely clear on in working on this. And I think that this board takes the decision-making extremely seriously. It truly is an honor. And when you think about if I'm going to move to Beverly Hills or as a resident of Beverly Hills, what are the 3 pillars? They are police, fire, and schools. And when you talk about schools, what are the 3 pillars? It's safety, facilities, and academics. And so these are really the 3 things that are the most important to me. I don't speak for the rest of the board, but based on our behavior and our voting record in the last couple months, I think you can see that we are making strides and making a big effort to take us in that direction. And Dr. Cherniss, his past, his present, and his future of what he's capable of is consistent with all of that. And I am proud to represent this community and on behalf of this community to welcome you, Dr. Cherniss. And I know that you're going to be working with us every step of the way. This is your team that's sitting beside us, and they have been our partners, and now they're your partners. and I look forward to what you are going to be able to bring to us all together. So thanks to all three of you. Here we go, and I will call for the vote, please. Mrs. Marcus?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mrs. Sabag?
Yes.
Dr. Stern?
Yes.
And I am a yes, 5-0. Thank you, everyone. And Dr. Cherniss, I'd like to welcome you to say a few words.
Thank you.
And you can have more than 2 minutes, Dr. Cherniss.
Okay. President Marcus, members of the Beverly Hills Board of Education, I sit before you excited and humbled to serve the students, families, and community members of Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is the greatest city on earth, and it is my mission to transform BHUSD into the finest school system in the country. It is ironic that we congregate here in what was the Hawthorne Library. This school, which opened in 1914, was the first public school to open in our city. I worked here for 5 years and met so many amazing students, parents, and educators. On Fridays, every Friday, the legendary, late, great English teacher, Bob Bailey, would bring his 8th grade English students into this very library where they would all read. And they'd read for the entire period, and including Mr. Bailey. And I remember asking Mr. Bailey one day why he had them read for an entire period instead of teaching them something else like writing or grammar. And if you'd ever been to Mr. Bailey's house, you knew he loved books. Next to his bed, he'd have a stack of books, and he'd read them all simultaneously, alternating from book to book, reading sometimes 10, 15 books at the same time. He loved books. So on that day, his answer to me, which I'll always remember, was, he said, first of all, many of these kids don't read at home, and I want them to develop a love for reading. Secondly, it's important for me, as their teacher, to model the behavior I expect from my students. And finally, as only Bailey could say, he looked at me with a grin on his face, and he said, Alex, I've been teaching for 30 years, so don't tell me what to do. So in closing, and back to Bailey's second point, as superintendent of BHUSD, I intend to model the behaviors I expect from our staff and from our students. I will model urgency to serve underperforming students and underperforming schools. I will model the necessity for innovation and creativity in our schools. And I will model a commitment to excellence in everything we do. It's an honor to serve as your BHUSD Superintendent of Schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Cherniss.